WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on youtube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm the WrestleGamer, Dylan Billy Boudreaux, and as you guys probably noticed here, I'm going to try something new. I picked up a new screen recorder to try to record games off my laptop. Originally wanted to start with The Binding of Isaac, but for some reason I'm having some issues with it. So what we're going to do is, as you can see, I'm going to do a couple of runs here on the Stanley Parable. And of course, joining with me for an extra voice on here to talk is the incomparable Lance Moss and Lance Moss TV. Lance, how you doing?
Pretty good. Got NASCAR on the TV and talking to you, so yeah, I'm doing pretty good.
Now, what's highly unique about this game is the tagline for it, Lance. I know you're not big into video games, but with this game, it's kind of a weird tagline. It said, you are playing a game and you are not playing a game. You're playing as Stanley and you're not playing as Stanley. So it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, that is quite confusing.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do first the traditional run through, and then I'm going to do a couple of more runs on here, and you guys can, judge for yourselves. So let's go ahead and get started. God, I love them loading screens.
I know.
Now, guys, if I can't get The Binding of Isaac to work, what I'll do is I'll still play through the whole thing and give you guys an official review of it, so that way it's not a total waste of $5. Yeah, that's how much I paid for it, Lance. It's $5.
Damn.
And, that's not really expensive when it comes to some of the games I've seen on Steam, though.
Yeah, I've heard some video games close to $60, something like that, or
yeah, and a lot of indie games on there. They have a lot of those that are free to play. Some of them are good, some of them not so much.
Yeah.
Come on, Mr. Loading Screen, I know it. I thought loading screens on the PlayStation 3 took forever.
Yeah. I mean, be honest with y'all, last thing I was really heavily into video game wise was like PlayStation 2. Like I had mostly WWE game or F games at the time, and
Stanley
a couple of football games and a NASCAR and some NASCAR games. Imagine that. The NASCAR guy of the group having NASCAR games. I know, part of it, right?
Was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427,
here's the intro.
And he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very...
Oh, Lord.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to...
Sometimes I love having TMZ on my Facebook.
But as he came to his wits and
Get this, Charlie Sheen, I'm getting married
from his desk
for the fourth time
and stepped out of his office.
Three-time divorcee Charlie Sheen is hopping back on the marriage wagon, this time to an adult film star, or a former adult film star.
What could it mean?
Yeah, he's still showing his winning wisdom.
Simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Now, guys, at times this recording might skip a little bit. Like I said, I'm still trying to work the kinks out of it. But what we're going to do first is we're going to do a traditional run where we're listening to the narration. And that's one of the key things about this game, Lance, is the narration of the game is really, really well done. There are a lot of, when you do the traditional run, it's a solid, good narration. But when you go against the narration, there's a lot of comedic value into it. But let's go ahead and do the traditional run first. So that way everyone can take a look at it. Charlie Sheen getting married to a porn star. I'm not exactly shocked by that.
Go play one now.
Those things.
That's what I do.
No, come on. My butt don't. Now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right. So in the traditional run, we're going left. On the next run, I'm going to show you guys, we're going to go right.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
that's not
disbelief,
good.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Lance, in this office I'm in right now, let me read you a couple of things that are on here. I'm at a whiteboard, it's like a diagram of a meeting. And it says, do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Alright, to another whiteboard that was on here. It says, tomorrow complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect, I'm sorry.
Yeah?
Alright, and of course another thing is they have a slideshow here. And it says number of slides on this slide. And it's like a graph. And it says rate it which charts are on the same slide depict the same information. They do a lot of comedic things on here.
Yeah.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wonder if there are any games narrated by Morgan Freeman.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because he is a known narrator. So yeah.
And everyone loves the sound of his voice.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human
I even
life.
got me a
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief
a little
who
soundboard
orchestrated
Morgan
this.
Freeman.
What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah, unless the narrator says the key. You see, we're at a keypad now, and it said it had a secret code, and the narrator said you possibly couldn't know the code 2845. You just said it.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing
bit of a
random
dirt for a
buttons on the
moment.
keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright, now we're in an elevator. Now, the traditional run, it's an interesting story, as you guys are about to see, if you haven't seen it yet.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for
Now, guys, I did warn you there would be a little bit of a lag on here.
Yeah.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Into the mind control facility? Yeah, Lance, you heard me right.
Mind control? What?
Yeah, I'll explain them in a minute.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
See, apparently, you know, with Stanley's job, you know, being, you know, content as he was, he found it kind of weird that, you know, he was just there to do a job like George Jetson, sit at a seat and push buttons.
Yeah.
So he wanted to find out what's going on, and his co-workers have disappeared, and now he's in a mind control facility, apparently ran by his office.
That's never
Now the
good.
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Ooh, damn.
I think that's a wreck.
This mind
Yeah.
control facility, it was
One
too
car, he
horrible
hit
to
the
believe it
he
couldn't be
hit
true.
Jimmy Johnson hit the
That Stanley
inside
had been under
hard.
someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
See, that's what we gotta do here now, Lance, is we gotta cut the power to the facility.
Noise.
Which is what we just did. And it'll bring up something, what a lot of fans have called the freedom ending.
Freedom!
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
And now we are outside of the office. And that's pretty much it.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin.
Cool.
The feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And that's pretty much the freedom ending run, guys and gals. What we're going to do this time around is it's something called the confusion ending. There are so many different endings to this game, Lance. It's unbelievable. Normally, you would see maybe a game that has maybe one ending or an alternate ending.
Yeah.
From what I've been told about this one, there are at least 8 to I'm not sure if this is number correct, 8 to 18 different endings for this game.
Ooh, dang.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do the confusion ending, where we go against some of the things the narrator says.
Should be
How long was I
confusing.
sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
But one of the major selling points for this game is the narration. And like I said, it's one of the major things a lot of fans got for got this game was to hear that narration and the way he reacts when you go against what he says.
Uh-oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Now, guys, as you saw in the Freedom ending run, we went to the left, but this time for the confusion ending, we're not going to go to the left as the narrator says. We're going to go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
And I'm going to head towards the employee lounge.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
That's outrageous. $1.25 at a vending machine? Come on.
For what?
For soda and cold drinks.
Oh,
yes,
that's bullcrap.
really, really worth it being here.
Now,
in
for
the
a little
room.
bit of an adult
A room
version,
so utterly
yeah, but
captivating
$1.25 would be a
that
pretty
even
good deal.
though all your
But for
co-workers have mysteriously
for
vanished,
non-adult
here you
beverage,
sit looking at these
yeah, that's
chairs
highway
and some
robbery.
paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Sometimes when you wait in an area too long, the narrator does kick in with a response. And
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
nope, we're going to go down this elevator here.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
So now,
From here,
at this point, the narrator's lost.
left.
It's so confusing,
Oh,
it
no.
even
No,
confused
it's to the right,
him.
my mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
See, now he's looking through his papers to find out which way we're supposed to go.
Now, let's see. We went down
Uh-oh.
right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way. No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
See, now the narrator is done. Since we got to an area we weren't supposed to see at this point in the game, he's restarted the game. But the thing is, we're going to continue to
All of his
ignore...
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
If you guys wonder why I'm not talking over the narration, I want you to hear the narration on here from Kevin Brighton, I believe his name is, and the way he does it on here is just so unbelievable. So now we get to this room,
When Stanley... Wait.
and something's different.
Wait, what? No, no, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on.
Nope.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Alright, now we gotta find the story. And now we're in the office hallway. I'm just gonna wander about for a little bit before the narrator kicks in and says something.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Alright, now the narrator has restarted the game yet again.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering.
Yeah, now we're at the
this
meeting room
wrong.
with no doors.
It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
I guess it's a
Why don't
public
we
meeting.
go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
And now we've got to retrace our steps to see where the lost story is.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Now we got to go back the other way.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Alright, I got to restart again, and guys, watch the ground when we pop up. Yep, now we have the Stanley Parable Adventure
All right,
Line.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Yep, Lance, according to the narrator, we just follow the Stanley Parable Adventure Line, and we'll get to the story. I go here, and now we're going through here, turn here, turn here.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Nope. Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
And now he's playing music.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Alright, now we have to study a fern, because apparently it's going to be important for some reason. And as much as I've played this game, guys, I still yet to find out why that fern is so important.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Lance, in case you didn't catch it, the narrator said, to hell with it, restart.
Yeah, right now I just saw a
forget the
huge
adventure.
wreck,
What's
so
it ever done for
I didn't
us?
catch it.
We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Right now the narrator wants us to wander off on our own and avoid the line.
Yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Yeah, the narrator wants us to avoid the line, and we're going to make a new adventure. Yay! You can see the line going a little bit of caca here. Instead of staying on the floor, it's all over the walls and the ceilings. And now we're in a weird room.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Yeah,
Okay.
the narrator needs a minute to
each
think.
door has to lead
So we
somewhere.
gotta
which
walk
means
in
that
circles.
Somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse
Oh, Lord
door
Almighty.
that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh, Lance, if you could only hear this narration. And now we have approached the confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this?
In a room that says the confusion ending.
The confusion ending? You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
And that was the confusion ending, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed these couple of runs here on the Stanley Parable. If you guys want to see me do any more of the runs here on Stanley Parable, you know, just hit up that like button on here. Lance is on youtube.com/LanceMossTV. Lance, what can fans expect to see when they come and visit your channel?
Album reviews, NASCAR reviews, redneck gourmet cooking videos, a little bit of wrestling stuff, some Q&As, and whatever else pops into my head.
Alright, don't forget to like the Facebook page, facebook.com/WGS-TV, and don't forget to please subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. Don't worry guys, tomorrow we'll get the SmackDown review done for you guys, and maybe some more of the Stanley Parable, and I'll try to work the bugs out of doing the recording the binding for Isaac. And if it still doesn't work, like I said, I'll still play through it and give you guys a review. So in the meantime, guys, for the incomparable Lance Moss, from Lance Moss TV, I'm the Wrestle Gamer, WGS-TV, saying thank you very much for watching.